naam is Nicolás Keenan. Ik ben 27 jaar en sinds 2017 ik woon in Den Haag en ik speel voor hockeyclub Klein Zwitserland aan de nationale elftal van Argentinië. So actually I come from a hockey family, so it's not just my father, but my mom, my siblings, my uncles, my cousins, and even my 4 grandparents played hockey in the highest level in Argentina. Since I was born, all the family was about hockey, and the only sport that we did in our family was hockey. I was in Buenos Aires training for the Junior World Cup that I played in India. And after the Junior World Cup, I had 3 months free that I couldn't go on with my studies or even hockey in Spain, so I decided to go abroad for the experience. And throughout some contacts that my parents had, that they knew the coach from Gazette, I ended up playing here just for 3 months in the hoogste klasse. When I arrived to Gazette, I felt at home immediately, so it was like a second home for me. People there is super nice and they were really open about everything since the beginning. So I was really surprised because I knew that Gazette was such an emblematic club that it's quite famous in Holland, but still they can keep it so familiar, so it's just a family club. Since the first moment they supported my career and my Olympic dream, so all those years with me we make it possible to do everything we can in our hand to make it to the Olympics. I will be always grateful to the club for that. So playing for the national team of Argentina is something really special. I think that everyone knows that Argentinians, they put so much passion in sports and they are so fanatic about everything they do. So from the first moment that you step a foot on the pitch, you're a mix of emotions. All these emotions get kind of quiet in the moment that everyone is singing the national anthem. So I feel really honored and proud of representing my country in this sport. So with the national team, I already have a lot of memories. For me, one of the most special ones is actually not that long ago. At the Olympic Games in Paris was such a special moment to have full stadium and my family could be really close by and cheer for us. And on Tokyo, it was during COVID, so they were not allowed to come. So it was really special to have them. I will say that officially, I never came out to anyone. I think that nowadays the coming out thing, it's quite outdated. I understand that some people needs it and wants to do it to set a new star in their life and to make a statement out of it. But in my case, it was more as a natural process where one day I just said like, yeah, I'm dating someone and that someone is a guy. So for me, like the hardest part about my sexuality, it came in my teenager life. I think it's a moment that everyone is just exploring their sexuality. And also it's a moment that you're realizing that you need to fit in society. And I felt like I was not fitting anywhere with my feelings. So also as a high performance athlete, people think that we are 100% confident, so we must be 100% confident, that we need to be all the time disciplined, we need to be all the time there. Sometimes feels like showing up our emotions we'll see as a weakness. So in one moment at that time, I also struggled to talk about my sexuality, to be open about my sexuality, because I was worried. I would think in that moment actually that would be a weakness that even my teammates or people around me will use against me to win their place inside of the team. So that was really hard. But what surprised me the most, and I was actually quite in shock, suddenly started to receive a lot of social media attention, a lot of messages on my Instagram, on the WhatsApp, on everywhere about former athletes or young people that are struggling with their sexuality, or even active athletes nowadays, that they're not there yet to be open about sexuality. How much of these people is still hiding and being in the dark because they don't feel there is actually a place for them in this sport, or they are scared to really show who they truly are. I felt quite sad because to see so many people struggling and without having any voice to talk was actually quite sad in the moment. I think that we need to create a safer environment for everyone. So I will tell people that always think that you must be sitting next to one in the changing room that is struggling with their sexuality. So I will be really careful with these homophobic jokes and comments that are usually made. There is a specific moment that I was brave enough to show people my true self, and that moment has actually a full name, that is Robieta. So he's the first guy that I know that was not just sexually attracted, but actually emotionally as well. So that was a big turning point in my life. I met Rob here in the neighbor, so we start seeing each other, like cross path in the supermarket. And suddenly one night I was at home and actually received a message on my Instagram from him. So I was like, yeah, who the fuck is that guy? And then, yeah, we started talking and he invited me over to have some wine. Then it's when all started. Yeah, for me, it's nothing new about Dutch culture because I've been living here for a while. But it's really funny to see how he's discovering the Argentinian culture. And I'm really happy that actually he likes it and he actually embraces it. So I think we're a good mix of me embracing his culture and him embracing my culture. That's really nice to see. So my goals nowadays, I think club-wise, I would like to see Kazet reaching playoff somewhere in these years. That will be an amazing thing. With Argentina, I really would like to play the next World Cup in Holland and actually achieve something, a medal. That is something that we've been working a lot the last years. Yeah, my goal is not to be a role model of anyone, but it's true that sharing stuff on social media, you see more and more that people is relating to my story, like they see themselves going through the same experiences or the same moments in life. So that's actually is quite a motivation for me to help other people, other kids, the next generation. People like us exist, and unless we tell people that we exist, they will not see us. And I think this is a great opportunity for younger generations to show to this young generation that there's actually a space for them in our sport. So what I will say to young generations as well is like, don't let anyone make you think that because who you are, where you're from, like who you love, who you have sex with, you will not make it. Because yeah, I might be one of the first one that actually makes it, but I'm definitely not the last one, and I hope I'm not the last one.